If Shatta Wale would have decided to reply him, in the end, Black Sherif would have suffered a big mess.
Oh, are you sure?
I'm telling you, because it would have affected his album.
A lot of people have said that.
Let me tell you why. When Shatta Wale replies to Beef, the attention draws away from every project you've ever done.
Are you sure?
It draws back to everything you do.
I don't think I agree with you on this.
That should be him.
Every single person that beefed with Shatta Wale and probably had their career curtailed was because they didn't have any clear-cut plan.
Okay.
Because we can say the same for Rashid Mehta, who beefed Stonebwoy. We will say, okay, Stonebwoy killed in career. It doesn't make sense. You get it? So when you are mentioning names, I don't know why he failed to mention Shatta beefing Sarkodie, beefing Burna Boy, beefing Stonebwoy. If those careers died, then we know that every single person who has beefed Shatta Wale has had a dip in their careers. Okay. So that's not factual.
Welcome back to the show. This is still Entertainment Guide on DJ TV. I'm here with Long John the Blogger and Yagood Waiwaf. Quickly, let's talk about Black Sherif's album. The Iron Boy is officially out. He's on tour, and there were some remarks that were leveled against quote unquote Shatta Wale. Long John, what do you have to say about the Iron Boy album first, and of course Black Sherif song with Dem Boyz?
I think the narration has been nullified by both artists. This is one of the things we all keep saying, and Shatta Wale has always been pressing on that issue. If you're an artist and you make the industry fool you, they'll set you up to ridicule. You should be in control of your own narrative and your own projects. Imagine, you know the album actually started selling when the Shatta Wale names entered inside, because I didn't really hear the band.
Sure?
I'm being honest.
From being honest. When the album was dropped,
it was just Shatta Wale. Look, the first narration that started going out of the album was Shatta Wale.
Come on.
Which song, like what among the songs in there, which one caused talkability aside the one that looked like a shade to Shatta Wale? We are talking about the talkability of the songs in the album. That was the only song that gave it a headline, and everybody was very interested.
So you believe that is?
I believe that you see the word Shatta Wale itself on social media can trigger numbers.
Okay.
So using that as a bait by industry people trying to cut attention and making it look like Black Sherif and Shatta Wale against each other. That is why, you see, I always say this. Shatta is too smart for this industry. You always think you want to use the front door for him, he uses the back door. You want to use the back door, he uses the side door. That's what he's trying to do. Okay. You set him up trying to make him start the beef, because in the end, the song doesn't in any way point hands at anybody. Whatever, Black Sherif is a creative. I mean, to create a story or to create a character is something that are just very little for them to do.
Artists do that.
Artists always do that. Okay. They always coin stories and make things.
So he wasn't referring to Shatta Wale.
The same Black Sherif that is talking about hustling and coming from the street, we all know he's from a rich home. So these are some of the things they can do. They can create. That is why they are creatives. So if you should listen to a song and you feel it aligns with someone, and you want to set the person up, and the person has been able to outsmart you and tell you that, you know what, let's support these guys. Because look, if Black Sherif would have decided, if Shatta Wale would have decided to reply him, in the end, Black Sherif would have suffered a big mess.
Oh, are you sure?
I'm telling you, because it would have affected his album.
A lot of people have said that.
Let me tell you why. When Shatta Wale replies to Beef, the attention draws away from every project you've ever done.
Are you sure?
It draws back to everything you do.
I don't think I agree with you on this.
That should be him. I want you to understand this.
Yes.
Why do you think, look, when you show your face and beefing Shatta Wale, that is what the problem is. Somebody said, Kuku Smoke and Shatta Wale, those narration.
But it's true. Shatta said he will end his career.
Hold
Look
on.
at Kuku Smoke. Today he's an artist of the year category.
Listen, but does he have that noise around this?
Oh,
why? Okay, hold on. Wait, no, I'm saying something. Hold on. I'm not done speaking. Let me finish. I don't want to forget. Listen.
Okay, go ahead.
Why would, among all the artists in the artists of the year category, why would someone, a learned industry person, go and sit on camera and say, Kuku Smoke doesn't deserve to be in the artist of the year? You see, look, that narration simply means there's a particular shine that you have to get. But so far, all the artists in there have it.
Right.
It's only Kuku Smoke. And basically, all I'm trying to say is, fighting Shatta Wale can actually nullify the hype or the projection around your main project. Okay. And now it will be between you and Wale. which you have a project. Now you have to put it aside and be replying.
I totally disagree with you on this one because if you look at where Kweku Smoke started his career and what Shatta Wale set him and where he was at then and how far he has come, for me, I don't know the future, but I didn't expect
Kweku is a rapper. Kweku is not a singer.
To be able to reach this level at this point.
Kweku is a rapper. He's not a singer.
And holding it down for the rap community.
Kweku is a rapper. He's not a singer.
I really respect Kweku Smoke, and I don't think that whatever you are saying here in relation to Shatta Wale bending somebody and making him be the ultimate. I don't agree with
if
you.
Shatta would have replied him, trust me, the album would have been trash.
When Sarko did drop
Because
advice, he didn't mention Shatta Wale listening, but Shatta Wale saw it right to respond to him. So I don't know why.
There was no major. Get this in your skull. Listen. There's a project that has been dropped. No, there's a project that has been dropped. No, there's a project that has been dropped.
Hold on.
And then the project needs projection. And you are here talking about a beef. If Shatta Wale should reply him, do you think the people will focus on the project again?
Questions on behalf of the people, and I'm saying that I don't believe strongly that Kweku Smoke, Shatta Wale, Black Sherif is going to suffer from Shatta Wale if he responded to him. Yeah, what do you have to say about this? I mean, Shatta Wale, quiet about it. I mean, actually tweeted something that we were not even expecting from his nature. What do you have to say about that?
First of all, big shout out to Black Sherif and RBA team. They put out a fantastic album. Usually getting your second album is usually the hardest for an artist because when you have so much success with the first, there's a lot of pressure on you to deliver. And I'm glad he's been able to deliver this album and in the manner in which it's become like the talked about project. Yes, it's really great. So kudos to Black Sherif and the team. Now regarding who Dem Boyz, we should not just mind Swiss. We know who he was referring to. In fact, we know the people he was speaking about in that song. And I believe that is his truth. He spoke what was bothering him. And one thing people do not realize, it was not just about the names that have been mentioned. It was also a song for the industry. This is someone who jabbed pundits, jabbed people who talk negatively on his name. So in all, it's his truth. And he's mentioned, I don't think he did it for a reaction. I think he did it because it was something he felt and he had to let it out. So that let it be known. This is how I feel about you. Regarding Shatta Wale's comment, big ups to Shatta Wale for coming up and supporting the young chap. I think it's nice when we have industry supporting each other. I believe where he sat also understood the message that was driven across and realized it was not like a personal attack, but this is someone also expressing himself. Maybe that's the reason why he took it the way he took it, and I'm glad he took it the way he took it.
Are you surprised that Shatta didn't responded like this?
Honestly, I would have been surprised if he had responded. To be honest, if he had responded, I would have been surprised. So him not responding in the manner at which people expected him, and he responded like this, to me it was a perfect touch. It felt like yes, this is someone who preaching unity and following up on that speech. You get it. So I wasn't like too surprised singing it.
So that was a good one.
Yeah, what
do you think of the tour so far?
It was a great PR move. I'm not going to lie. It was a great PR move for even Shatta Wale himself. And the tour has been amazing, sold out venues. And I think it's going well. I think I saw Ofe was on the Washington leg. Ofe has been doing good because he was also on King Promises leg for the Washington. So the tour has been, I think it's been good and it's been strategic. Positioning it right after the release. So it's been good.
All right.
And PR wise,
Iron Boy album doing very well.
Yeah, doing very
all the DSPs as well. So of course, we are wishing you all the best, Black Sherif.
Yeah, charting 60 countries, across 60 countries. That's like a local record. So it's good. Now to touch on the topic guys are talking in terms of those who beef Shatta Wale and their careers, and so I want us to list some of them. Then we determine where their careers have gotten to. So Sarkodie, where's his career?
Long John here.
I'm talking to you. I'm going to Long John. Sarkodie, where's his career?
Sarkodie is still doing his thing.
Stone Boy.
Oh, he's still doing
the beef is still hot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Kweku Smoke.
He's an artist of the category.
Isn't that impressive?
That's marvelous.
Yeah. I know they'll mention two names, Yapono and Creswado. First of all, Creswado was a part-time musician. I know he would, but he wasn't releasing records as frequently as he's been more of a businessman than a musician. Yapo no. If I don't
Is that been releasing?
I don't think people expected Yapo to reach the heights of Sarkodie. I don't think so. So if you say he killed Yapo's career, well, he hasn't really killed it. Yes, he's where...
For an artist to beef and say he regret beefing the artist, you are the one come to tell me what to think and what not to think.
Jaco said he regretted when he did the Kendrick thing. It hasn't affected his career in any way because he has a clear plan. Every single person that beefed with Shatta Wale and probably had their career curtailed was because they didn't have any clear-cut plan.
Okay.
Because we can say the same for Rashid Mehta who beefed Dem Boy. We will say, okay, Dem Boy killed in career. It doesn't make sense. You get it. So when you are mentioning names, I don't know why he failed to mention Shatta beefing Sarkodie, beefing Burna Boy, beefing Dem Boy. If those careers died, then we know that every single person who has beefed Shatta Wale has had a dip in their careers. Okay. So that's not factual. Okay. That's the first thing. For Smoke has been like, I'm happy for Smoke.
We all are.
Going through the channel, rebuilding himself, and getting to the point that he's gotten to.
Yeah.
It's something as SM fans, easy to admit that this boy has worked out to get where he's gotten to.
All right.
Even though he was stuck like he would never blow.
Yeah.
But there were some SM fans say who Smoke will never blow because he beef. They
but today look at where Kwaku Smoke is. For me, I'm very impressed with how the young boy has turned out.
Yes.
Quickly, before we go, I mean, Sarkodie's career has ended. One guy said that in a Gen Z show on TV3, Medical, I didn't sit well with Medical. Yeah. What do you have to say about that statement?
What do I have to say about that statement? So here's the thing. I think people are entitled to their opinions. That's why we get to say what we want sometimes on this platform. But also, we need to have responsible platforms too, in the sense that anybody can say anything, but how you platform it changes the narrative. Yeah. Because I'm sure out of all the things that the guy had said, they could have cut a different portion for it, but then they realized that if you put out this part, it will generate talkability. So they chose talkability over responsible media practices. Do you understand? Because even if the person has an opinion to say, oh, Sarkodie and career die, TV3 as a media platforms have enough stats and records to show that his career is nowhere close to dying. Okay. His career is because they keep playing his music. Yeah. I'm sure if Sarkodie calls and says I want to do an interview, they are going to put him on their biggest shows. Yes. Because of the publicity they are going to get. So I think as media houses, they need to realize that they also owe responsibilities to these talents who they use regularly, so that certain things do not come out the way they are supposed to come out. Do you get? So let's learn responsible media practices, and let's stop all this. I think it's been one too many reckless comments that we've led to kind of fester in the industry, and even on our social media platform, we keep we keep praising people and giving platforms people like Bongo Ideas, Macaulay Dems, who have been negatively talking about like
creatives.
Yeah, like they personalize those conversations. You get it, and it's a troubling trend. Okay. And if you keep giving them that platform, people will see it and be like, oh, they are rewarding bad behavior. Then let us also try and do those things. And also for artists will ignore good praises and always comment on bad praises. Yeah. And that would always lead to such conversation. That's why I'm happy someone like Shatta Wale has moved away from commenting on negative people and now highlighting on positive. Because back in the day, any negative thing, Shatta Wale would come and comment. Then the person would rather get a rise in their ranking. You get it? But now, since he stopped that, you can count the number of people who have talked bad on him who have benefited. Zero.
That's why you would put out a post of Long John.
You get it.
Long John is
yes,
good
because it's positive. Okay. So it's now better to highlight the positives than the negatives. Because I'm sure if most of us had ignored that video, the media house have realized it was a bad content to post. But now you can see the video is still there because the views have grown higher.
And they're not taking it down?
Why would they take it down when the views is high?
Okay.
When it's getting to 1 million. When stars are commenting.
Okay.
It's the same for Max TV. Max TV did a similar...
Although they apologize, didn't take it down?
No, you see, what is done is done. The video, once it's on the internet, no go fit take them down.
Okay.
You get it. So as media platforms, we need to be responsible with the people we put on and what they say.
What do you have to say about this? Sarkodie.
I believe for the first time, Ghanaian musicians are united in fighting a particular canker in our industry. Because I think it's becoming quite too much for us to allow people to attack our musicians.
Yeah.
Because looking at the commentary from that guy, honestly, I sat down to ask myself a lot of questions. I quite remember when TV3 did Talent Case some few years ago. I think twice Sarkodie has shown up in their finals to support an artist they claimed was rapping like Sarkodie.
Yeah.
Even at the point, Sarkodie decided to fund one of them. You understand? His academic career and everything. So if you have someone like Sarkodie doing all these things for your platform, I'm not sure they paid him a penny. If Sarkodie is supposed to come and say the details of whatever happened, I'm not sure they paid. He did it for the love of one, Ghanaian media, and two, you know, to showcase our crowd that our kids are also doing great. But if today, 2025, you want to look down on that very person who, because at that time, I think he was even at his peak where he was having the BT and stuff. And he brought that glory to TV3 because by then your numbers weren't that much. Sarkodie on your platform, you needed him. Understand? But he came through to as low as Talented Case to make sure he put some limelight on it, make it very attractive because the presence of the likes of Sarkodie is what made people watch over and over again. But when more of their kids go there performing like other artists and those creatives come there, it adds more spice. And you know, with Sarkodie's brand, being on your show adds more light.
All right.
You've benefited from such a person. You go out, do your commentary on whatever. You make this commentary go through editors, from video editor to social media handlers, and then you post this video. If I'm trying to understand if they are trying to make it like they are trying to make it look sarcastic, I don't know the end game to which they made that post because in the end it adds nothing to the industry. It doesn't create any meaningful conversation, and it only puts someone in a bad taste. First of all, the artist the guy spoke about just last year dropped an album. The album caused an uproar within the confines of Africa, causing rappers to come at each other. If you want to allow someone to sit on your platform and tell you that that artist is dead, you should be the one educating them on why you believe it is not so because their current project he's on. But if in the end you take that post and make it public, you see, and I want to big up all the other artists. For the first time, they are all united, speaking on the issue.
Okay.
And for the first time, Medical had to say his mind. And I think he's right on it.
All right.
It's about time artists give back to some of the media and media personality, the energy they give to them, because some of them are totally, when you think about this, it's complete balderdash.
All right.
It makes no sense.
Thank you very much, Long John, for joining us on the show. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
All right.